Okay, let's go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 3 of this mastermind, Break Free and Create Freedom. So, my thing is kind of like overcoming a fixed mindset and gain a growth mindset and discipline. These are like mental tools that you can use every day to always get into the right mindset, right mind state, and push yourself through hard times, because that's really important. So let's go. So in introduction, who am I? I'm Sana, and I'm here for the health of the planet and the children. I love focusing on alternative school, homeschooling, eco-villaging, and I've also had a long journey from healing from chronic disease. So that's also a passion subject of mine. And in this class, we will be going through the inner settings of our mind. We will be going through a rich mindset versus a poor mindset, and then a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset, and then discipline and habits. And the brain, that's very, very interesting. But on a very top level, not on a deeper level. So if we start to talk about like a success mind state, because often we talk about mindset, like a mindset is something that you have and you can upgrade it and you can downgrade it and you can change it. But in a longer period of time. But your mind state, that you can choose every day, every second, every minute. So we are going to learn to go from a bag in the wind that is just affected by impulses, feelings, and emotions every day, to being like an arrow. Like no matter what happens, you know where you're going and you're going straight forward. And so a sustainable mind state and inner settings. So something that can be very, very, very beneficial when we are working with something that we want to like succeed with, whatever it is. We can start to shift our focus from goal to why. Because our goal in life, our goals, they're not like our visions and dreams, but more our why. We're going to talk more about why in the coming sessions of this mastermind, but I'm going to touch just shortly on it. Maybe you don't know your why yet. But if we focus on why, the journey will feel more exciting. If we are only focusing on the small goals, we will end up in a constant chase all the time. Goals are fun, they can be exciting, but it's important to stay in the why. Why do I do this? So with the inner settings, determination is something that is extremely important. Like choose, get married to your why. Like this is what I've chosen, even though it's hard, even though you go through tough periods with that, like determination. And then also surrender to outcomes, because outcomes are different every day, every time. Sometimes they're bad, sometimes they're good. Don't get fixed on them. Like surrender to whatever happens. The most important thing is that you do your best and you do what you want to do and you go towards that. And also then stay humble and curious. That is one of the things that I find in people who are most successful. And it doesn't need to be business successful. It can be any successful. But they're very humble and they're very curious. They don't have that pride. They have this like playfulness, the curiosity of life. That is very, very beneficial to carry when we're doing something. Because if we're always curious, there's always more to find out. And you don't make it your identity, like what you know, what you've gained. It's not your identity. That's what you have gained through being curious. So what does success mean for you? Because usually we have an idea of success, a too high idea of success that we miss to give cred for the stepping stones. Because when people start out on a new journey, often they are like, now I want to do this. And then if they're not best at it, after 2 weeks, they will stop. So all the big achievements that we're going to do in life demands these small steps every day. And we can use also positive reinforcement towards process progress all the way. Like it makes the small steps feel like success, and a positive spiral can begin. Like being your own personal trainer. Let's say you made a business plan, or you bought a gym card so you can go to the gym. Celebrate that. Nice. I did the first step. Like this was my first step on like this picture here. You can have that as a visualization when you're going towards something. Visualize these stones that you can go on, and every day is a new stone, and just celebrate what you did that day. In that way, you can create this positive spiral where you're not just like complaining at yourself when you're not doing what you wanted to do. And then combine this with intuition. So you who know me know that like facts and plans, that's my thing. Like I love plans, and I love facts, and I love strategies, and I love structure. But without intuition, that's useless. You can watch any tutorial on YouTube on structure and plans and strategies and all that, but if you're not following your intuition, that is your guide. That's super, super important. And when we also are on our mission to succeed with something in life, we need to start to see setbacks as a natural occurring event rather than a personal failure, because that is what most people actually do. That's why they don't make it. They see the setbacks as something that was like, I failed. And we need to remember that we can't fail unless we stop. Other than that, we're always learning and succeeding on the way. And then also like correcting your way of listening and responding to your feelings, because that matters a lot. When you're doing something, and let's say a setback happens, and you start to just complain and be very self-critic in a like a toxic way, and you hate yourself, that will not take you anywhere in life. That will really just destroy the path and create a bad spiral. But if you are more like, this setback happens, interesting. Okay, what can I learn from this? What did I do that I should be better at, should work at, or should do that should change, that I should change? And let's say you're like tired one day, because when we're tired, we tend to have a lot of destructive thoughts and feelings. Then it's important to like maybe more creative work is suitable at that day, and more structure, more brain things are more suitable on another day when you have more brain energy. So make it fun. Can you work outside? Can you do the boring yoga? It's not boring with yoga, but like let's say you feel that way one day, like, I don't want to do this. Like, what would happen if you did it by the lake, for example? Would that be more like grounding, earthing? Yeah, so work with these tools. Okay. So a poor mindset versus a rich mindset. What makes the rich richer and the poor poorer. And remember, we're not always talking about money here. We're talking about richness in joy, richness in contentment, gratitude. It doesn't always need to be material. So remember this. People who have a poor mindset, they have a lot of lack of belief, and they are dependent on other people's opinions. They have no plan, don't know what they want, don't have a target, move like aimlessly in life. They also find a lot of excuses for their problems. And this is also these kind of people who are waiting for this miracle to happen. Waiting for their lottery ticket, their inheritance, their promotion, and they're not prepared to do anything for it. And they also complain at other people working for their dreams. And they also blame other people. So they think they're poor because of the government, their boss, their ex, or whatever it can be. And then people who have a rich mindset, they have a lot of belief. They believe they can succeed even when no one else believes in them. They don't need anyone. They just need their own belief in themselves. They are their own friend. They have a plan, and everything they do is sort of a part of it. Even though they are resting with their family or they have a vacation, that's a part of the plan. They're living by their plan. It's a lifestyle. And they're solution focused. When rich mindset people face a problem, they figure out a solution because they know it's a natural part of the journey. And they take risks. Risks create opportunities, and they're not afraid of taking risks or doing it anyway. Poor mindset people, if they see a risk, they're not doing it. And then responsibility. They take responsibility for actions and they learn from them for future similar situations. And then we have fixed mindset versus growth mindset, like what people say to themselves. So fixed mindset people, they're saying to themselves, I give up easily. My potential is predetermined. Failure is the limit of my abilities. My intelligence is static. I avoid challenges. I stick to what I know. Feedback and criticism is personal. I will never improve. I'm either good at it or I'm not. There's no point in trying it. But the growth mindset people, they're more like, I like to try new things. I can learn to do what I want. Failure offers opportunity and growth. My intelligence can be developed. I embrace challenges. I learn from feedback. I keep trying and never give up. I am inspired by other people's success. That's a very important one. My mistakes help me grow. I know this will help me even though it's difficult. And they actually did a study in a school on what we say to ourselves and what we hear from others is affecting our way of performing. So it was a school and it was 2 different classes. One class, they used the phrase, they gave them the same test. And for one class, they used the phrase, that is a really good score. You must be smart at this. And on the other class, that's a fixed mindset phrase. And on the other class, they used a growth mindset phrase, which is, that is a really good score. You must have tried really hard. Focuses on the process, but the you must be smart at this focuses on the person. And what happened was that they took the same test, and after the test, the students had these different phrases. And after the phrases, the classes was offered another test that was a bit harder. And guess what happened? The fixed mindset phrase class, where they were focusing on the person, you must be smart at this. They chose to, a lot of the students chose to not take the other test because they could choose. And in the growth mindset phrase, where the teachers focused on the process, you must have tried really hard. Almost all the students chose to take the other test because it was not personal. It didn't have anything to do with them. And it reinforced their effort, but not themselves as a person. So this is very important. I relearn this every day. I try to not use these phrases like, oh, you are so good, you are so smart. But it's so hard because you really want to say that sometimes to children and friends, because we think that. But it's much more beneficial to reinforce performance by saying you must have tried really hard, and yeah, you understand. So try to change what we say to ourselves. And now if we're going to go to discipline and focus, which I feel is the strongest form of self-love, because this is actually what have taken me to where I am today. If we start to talk about actions, our actions expresses our priorities in life. So are you laying on the sofa when you really want to do something else? You're not prioritizing yourself. So if you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the sacrifice. Is that worth it? So where do you find yourself in life? Have you made your passions a priority? Most people make their passions a mere dream, far away from themselves, far away from what is achievable. Create a lifestyle through your passions. And that takes focus and discipline in the beginning. And then do not dilute yourself. Like, don't be scattered. Some people who are like, yeah, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to be a better person. I want to achieve this and this. They start with 5 different things at the same time. Like, don't do that. Like, choose one or max 2 and focus on them. And remember, like, you have 1 portion of energy per day and you have 1 portion of energy per life. And where you place this portion of energy, that will grow. Place it in a few places, those will grow a lot. Place it in many places, they all will grow a little. What do we want? And discipline, like, it's a muscle. I realized that, and it was actually pretty late in life. I realized I've been practicing discipline my whole life. And you all have too, but you need to redirect it to your passions, to your why, to what you really want to do. You have that energy. Like, all your painful experiences, destructive or not, you can harvest that discipline muscle that you trained at that time, and you can place it, like, physically or mentally, it doesn't matter. You can place this to change your habits. You can place this to put focus on your dreams. So the why, again, I'm touching on the why. The why, if you live by your why, it makes everything else not important. When you have the correct why, you don't have a choice but to be disciplined and focused. You want to be disciplined and focused. You will be, because the only thing you see in front of yourself is what you want to do, and you will know that's why I'm here. And procrastination, that's like something that comes up a lot for some people. And the main reason we procrastinate, it can sound like this in our heads, like, I'm not in the mood to do this today. I'm tired today. I feel like doing this other thing today. That's the moment where you can practice discipline, really, in that hard moment. So they did a study, and the self-disciplined did not allow their choices to be dictated by impulses or feelings. So let's say one day I get up, I'm tired, like now, like in the last 3 months of pregnancy, I'm tired today. But it doesn't matter. Like, this is something that I want to do. I know that I want to do this. And I know when I sit down and I start, I will be excited. I will have keep going on my positive spiral that I've started a long time ago. But if I fall for these things that my brain is fooling me to, like, I'm tired today, oh, I just want to stay in bed today, maybe I should take a day of rest. Sometimes rest is what you need, but it depends on the like portion of it. Like, did you rest the other 5 days of the week too? You don't need to rest today. Like, how much have you been resting? Do you really need to rest, or do you just need a walk outside to gain some energy, drink water, have some minerals, and just sit down and do what you want to do? And they also, the self-disciplined ones, they always worked on removing or improving things that makes their mind foggy and not foggy, like taking away junk food, reduce stress, meditation, creating this positive spiral. And these behaviors are habits. And this is why this is the most interesting slide of the whole presentation, I believe. This is why it's so hard to create new habits. There's a guy, Charles Duhigg, the author of The Power of Habit. In the book, it says, habit behaviors are traced to a part of the brain called the basal ganglia, which is a portion of the brain associated with emotions, patterns, and memories. Decisions, on the other hand, are made in the prefrontal cortex, a completely different area. So when a behavior becomes a habit, we stop using our decision-making skills and instead function on autopilot. Therefore, breaking a bad habit and building a new habit not only requires us to make active decisions, it will feel wrong. Like, think about that. Stop doing something that you're used to and start doing something new. You need to do it actively, but it will also feel wrong. That's why it's so hard to do. Your brain will resist the change in favor of what it has been programmed to do. So what we have been programmed to do is very comfortable for us to do, even if it's destructive. That's so interesting. That's so interesting. That's why we keep on going with our destructive patterns all the time. because it's very comfortable and it's safe, and it goes on autopilot. We don't even think about doing it. But doing the right things will feel wrong until you put your discipline and your focus on these things and been doing them anyway, even though it feels wrong, until they go into the area of the brain where this will be on autopilot. Imagine that. Imagine have created a lot of healthy, positive habits that functions on autopilot. So this is the last slide of the presentation. Some discipline practice. It's not something that is very advanced at all. But push through with visualizations. So you can do this every day, wherever you are, when you're in a situation you don't want to be in, really. So like, let's say you're in a position that hurts in one way or the other, like a yoga position, a workout, at your job, and you feel it stopping. You feel like, I don't want to do this anymore. Think about why you do this. Visualize it in your head. Breathe with it. Make a sound. I have been going to pregnancy yoga, and we're like simulating a birth experience through like exercises, like with our arms, like holding out our arms for 5-10 minutes. It will hurt a lot, and we practice on breathing through the experience instead of just being in pain. We try to really put our minds to benefit the experience. Like, okay, be interested, be curious in the feeling. Like, okay, but what is this pain really? It's just pain. It's not really me, is it? It's just pain. And if I breathe deeply, if I make a sound like, maybe you can't do that at your job, but and you let the pain out like somewhere else, you can learn to push through situations that you did not think that you could be in. And when you have a disciplined muscle, there's nothing that can stop you, because you won't be affected by your impulses and emotions. Sometimes we need to respect and listen to our emotions, obviously, because that's those times now. But often we need to also think about our brain is really lazy sometimes. Our brain, the function of our brain is to conserve energy. So it will say things to you that you don't really need to hear sometimes. So that's very good to train to notice. You can also create positive associations. This is really good. Like create new habits with the rewarding system. Like, let's say you want to do morning walks. It's really boring, but okay, if you listen to your favorite podcast, makes it more fun. Or that, the green kale smoothie, maybe you're not used to those yet, maybe you hate those, but like, let's say you take your smoothie, but you love dancing to your favorite music. That will be a positive association to drinking the smoothie, and you will feel double healthy. And early mornings, like, that can be tough for some people. If you have early mornings with a fantastic cup of matcha latte, or a cup of tea, cup of coffee, whatever you love, you can think about that, like, oh, I don't want to go up, but I still want to go up, but I don't want to. But that latte, that's something that I really look forward to. Yeah, okay, I will get up. Or something else that motivates you to get up. Think about that and focus on that. Or let's say you're gonna have a very long work day. Okay, maybe you need some chocolate. Maybe you need something else that you feel like, that would be nice when I have this thing. So and focus on those things, and it will, in your brain, create positive associations. So you will train yourself to be able to do more of what you actually want to do, until you don't have to try so hard anymore, until it's on autopilot. So yeah, that was it for today. A short 30-minute intensive mindset practice, and I hope you got some tools from this that you can use. And my biggest thing when I think about these things is the brain. Like, okay, what do my brain want to tell me today, and what should I listen to, what should I not listen to? How far can I go? It's not dangerous. How far can I go? We can do so much more than we think we are capable of. So yeah. So thank you for being here today, and see you soon. Bye.